But Drew Lock, that's my quarterback. Drew Lock, dog, that's my quarterback. Let's go. Drew Lock, dog, that's my quarterback. That's my QB. Drew Lock, dog, that's my quarterback.
Drew Locks, Season 1, Episode 8. The Clowns came early this year for Halloween. That's right, your bookie. Because they're losers, we went 2-1 last week with the overall record of 12-8. Look, I know it wasn't pretty. The early morning Tennessee game had us all sweating it out. But my next two plays came through because I used the G word, guarantee. When I use guarantee, we end up having a winning week. That's why, well, week 7 was simply a lot. So cheers to another winning week. Let's do a quick week 7 recap. I was actually in attendance to make sure the Aggies would lock this game in against Mississippi State. Say what you want about A&M, Mississippi State's hot garbage. Might be the worst team in the SEC. I was called a fool, I was called crazy, I was called just about every name in the book for taking this under. But man, did it smack. Ole Miss versus Arkansas under, lock it in. I know we said this was battle of the bourbon versus the whiskey, but I think Tennessee has a new Halloween edition of Jack Daniels down there because they look drunk on the field. They look terrible. That was the coldest take I could have had. Now, those are just things you love to see. Another winning week. Now, unfortunately, the professor will be out this week. I think the feds may have caught up to him a little bit. Said he's going to have to start betting offshore now. But the professor will be back when things cool down. For now, click that little box to like and subscribe. And now, we go to week 8, picks of the week. For our first play of the day, we're taking the Notre Dame versus Pitt over. I know I've talked about how good Pittsburgh's defense is, but I also love Old Reliable and the Fighting Irish offense. We're taking the over 43 points. And for our second play of the day, I'd like to welcome back the Big Ten. Now, everyone in the country is all over this game. I like Penn State. Indiana's a great team too, don't get me wrong. But we're taking the Nittany Lions of Penn State minus 5.5. And for our third and final play, it's more than a game for many reasons. Air Force is playing San Jose State. Of course, we respect our troops. We thank Air Force for what they do on and off the field. But they got a good football team. I'm taking the Dirty Birds and the Air Force Falcons minus 7. Not only because they run as a unit, but also because of who they're playing. This man, Nick Starkel, is such a wash-up, A&M reject, Arkansas reject, which has never been done before, and now he's stuck in San Jose, California. We're taking the Birds minus 7. It really does baffle me how one hot garbage trash quarterback could go so many places. But anyway, here's a week 8 recap. For our first play, taking the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame versus Pittsburgh over 43 points. Our second play, Big Ten play, Penn State, Nittany Lions minus 5.5 against Indiana. And on our third and final play, as we gamble and drink vino, I'm taking United States Air Force Academy. Shout out my boy Tarwater. We got Dirty Birds minus 7. Now that's week 8 locks of the week. I'm shouting out a shout out to my friend Blake, who was spoken to about on the Unnecessary Roughness podcast for Barstool Sports. I'm sure he really enjoyed it. I wish they would have gave me Drew Locks a shout out, but it is what it is. Here's a sound bite to follow.
But speaking of the burger place, and we put this down here. Shout out our guy. It was Blake. No, we're not going to say his last name. We can't dime him out like that. Blake, who we saw at the burger place.
We've seen Blake all weekend.
He's been here all weekend.
He was on the plane, right?
He was on the plane, and he was at
Atlanta Airport, and he's been here. We saw
and Two Brothers. He was at Two Brothers last night.
Yeah.
Shout out Blake.
He's an A&M fan. So he
I mean,
they're
pretty nice, you know.
We got a big week coming up this week. Last week was a clown week. Last week was a guarantee week. Last week was a lock, but this is a brand new slate of games, a brand new week. Big Ten is back, just what we were waiting for. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get hyped. Let's plug in those bets. Hey, good teams win, great teams cover. I'll see y'all next week.